Good morning, good afternoon, good evening when you fine folks are watching this broadcast. It's the ITRL Racing Network back for the potentially final time here in 2025 for the ITRL Racing League Premier Series Season 10, race number 17, the finale. We made it to the Premier Championship World 300, the World 300. Normally this race is usually a regular season race, but is our race where we are going to determine who our next champion is in the league. We have an opportunity to have a repeat champion. Storm Patterson can go back to back. He has an opportunity. He's one of our 4 playoff drivers who have an opportunity. Kevin Hash can notch another championship underneath his belt by winning tonight. Or we could have ourselves a new champion in Brandon Klisterhuis, and I'm pretty sure I'm about 90% sure Eric has not won a championship, but I could be wrong on that. My history on that is very, very good. I know that we have Storm as our repeating champion, as our defending champion, trying to capitalize that. And Kevin has, I believe, at least one. I know one, maybe 2 championships underneath his belt. Give me a second here. I will fact check this stuff because I have that ability to do that real quick. As we have time, because they're still qualifying out here on the racetrack, they still have about 2 minutes and 43 seconds. But yeah, Storm is our current defending champion. I know Kevin has won once, maybe twice. Just trying to go off of the top of the head here. Just doing my due diligence because I want to make sure this is correct. I normally write this stuff down, but we're really, yeah, Kevin has won once, and I don't believe Eric has a title underneath his belt. So let me check a couple more here. Yeah, that is correct. Eric does not. So we can potentially have some guys coming out here winning their second titles tonight, and some guys winning their first. So we'll go over your points, and you're going to see a lot of zeros here, because the easiest way for me to track it for you guys at home here is having these guys set at 0. These guys, they can only earn, oh, hang on, I got to turn this off. I almost did this again. These guys can only earn their finishing position points. So we go off of the highest finisher. They do not earn stage points. Stage points do not get them the opportunity to win the championship that way. They can only come out here and be the highest finishing car out of these 4. So the best way to kind of keep track at home, whoever's sitting at the top of the list here, I'm going to have on the pylon on your right side of the screen here. Whoever's number 1 will be your driver as a champion. That'll be currently first place in that aspect. There will still be 2 stages tonight. They'll be on lap number 35 and I believe 75. So, yeah, 35 and 75. They probably might need to make a pit stop in stage number 2. Stage number 1 will be really, really close. But you will potentially might need to make 3 stops, in maybe even 4 in the final stage, which will be about 125 laps here tonight. As we got 300 miles to attend to tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun on a track that's, I find, is like one of the best, but in a car that just absolutely sucks. So there's that. Qualifying is currently wrapping up here right now. Eric DePoe will be your pole sitter. He put down a lap time of 29.345. He will be starting a provisional pole and getting everything over here. Just taking a quick look. He will be your highest championship 4 driver here in the lineup tonight. Right, because he qualified on the pole. And he's currently on the grid, so we do not get to take a look at his car. We'll go ahead and pull up second place Brian Kluster, who's another one of those Championship 4 drivers here at last week's winner on the grid tonight. He's starting second in that 25 ITRN Toyota Camry. There is the number 97 Machine SFTV Chevy Chevrolet of Eric Chapeau. Starting third tonight, I don't know if that's Luke or if that's Anthony Landry in that machine, but he will be starting third, number 92 SFTV Machine Chevy Chevrolet. There he is. He's not on the grid. Starting fourth tonight in that Lucky Dogs number 87 Chevy Chevrolet, that'll be Ray Renard. Starting fifth, currently not on the grid, that'll be the Target number 81 machine of Ryan Muniz. Starting sixth tonight in that Smitty Supply Inc. number 15 Toyota Camry would be Trust Not. Starting seventh tonight would be the number 45 MPI Company number 45 Toyota Camry of Matt Cherry. Starting eighth tonight will be that Primo number 35 Toyota Camry of Storm. Ott. Starting ninth tonight in that Qualidac number 9 Chevy Chevrolet, also known as a Cadillac, to the driver of this car, Christopher Gale. And running your top 10 tonight in that Kings Hawaiian number 12 Toyota Camry will be Zach Kreiser. Starting 11th tonight will be Kevin Freeze in that Under Armour Wounded Warrior Project number 23 Chevy Chevrolet of Kevin Freeze. Starting 12th in that Victory Fuel number 67 Toyota Camry will be Caleb Reeves. Starting 13th tonight would be the Budweiser number 8 machine of Storm Patterson. He's currently not on the grid. Starting 14th tonight in the Empire Vinyl Company number 48 Chevy Chevrolet will be Brand Pamtat. Starting 15th tonight in that unsponsored number 4 machine, that's a Ford Mustang of Nathan Shiflett. Starting 16th tonight will be the number 33 machine, that is CRT Small Engines Chevy Chevrolet of Josh Cully. Starting 17th tonight, the lowest of our Championship 4 drivers, that'd be the Stripper Glare number 03 machine of Kevin Hash. Starting 18th tonight in that Liberty Paintball number 50 machine will be Ryan Russi. Starting 19th tonight will in that wonderful looking number 74 machine will be Ryan Wortman. And running on your field tonight in that Shark number 19 Chevy Chevrolet will be Matthew Carabino. 20 cars, 200 laps. These guys are racing till lap number 35 here in stage 1. Again, 4 drivers have an opportunity at the title. Everyone else has the opportunity at stage points, determining where they're going to be finishing here in their point standings. Some of these guys have an opportunity to earn potential payouts the higher they finish in the point standings, whatnot. And there's also a trophy and $20 on the line tonight. So we got that going for us. But for the final time in season number 10, we'll go take a look at Barney the Flagman with the green flag in hand for the initial start of the race. And as the iRacing.com pace car should be getting ready to go down the pit road here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. And we are racing from the Charlotte Motor Speedway for the World 300. Early on, you can see Brandon Kluster is the number 25 machine, trying to take a look on the inside of that number 97 machine of Eric Chapeau. These two right now racing to be the... Oh no, that didn't load. It's because Storm didn't start the race. Oh no. These two are racing to be that first driver in the championship hunt. They're side by side down the back straightaway as things are starting to kind of single file out here. A little further on back in the pack. You see side by side behind Muniz there in 5th place. And it looks like the 92 machine did clip the wall a tiny bit there off a corner exit. With the most recent update to these cars, again, this has been a while ago. Now we're talking about 7-8 weeks ago. These things become very, very tight behind another car. So I wouldn't be surprised the closer we see some of these guys get here to the car in front of them, the tighter they get. As they're still side by side for the race lead here between Eric Chapeau and Brayden Klusterhuis. Chapeau is going to go ahead and lead that lap and put himself as the current leader And then you can see Storm's name popped up on the graphic there. He's currently showing 3 laps down, coming back out onto the racetrack. So it's going to be a long uphill battle for that Budweiser 8 machine to try to come back-to-back in the championship. Back out front, Brandon Klusser's had the advantage a tiny bit there through 3 and 4, but it's still going to be that number 97 machine leading that lap, I do believe. Again, no bonus points for leading a lap tonight, no bonus points for a 0x. It's just finishing position that determines the championship. As Brandon has a slight advantage here using the bottom lane going down the back straightaway, but here comes Drapeau with the run off the top, still being shown a tiny bit ahead here, the 25 machine. And so still be side by side through 3 and 4. I think tonight the optimal line to run for these guys is going to be the high groove. Passing on the bottom is going to be damn near impossible the further we get into a tire run. As Brandon there thought he had opportunity to clear the 97 machine down the back straightaway, but he didn't. Another thing about this race is a day and night transition, so hopefully this does not crash any sort of PCs we see here tonight. But yeah, I'm pretty sure Brandon had led that lap that last time by. Taking a look at things, yeah, things are pretty calm throughout the field. We go a little bit further back. This is about 9th place. This is where we get our first side-by-side action besides the race lead. And it's Eric Drapeau still holding pretty strong on the top there, defending Brandon Klusser, who's here. Again, both these guys are trying to win their first championship here in the Iron Thunder Racing League. Brandon has a slight edge here on the bottom. Does he have an opportunity to clear up? And he does move that 25 machine, but he does get a little bit of a contact there from the 97 machine. Gets him a little bit loose there down the back straightaway, but he will clear and take the race lead and try to put a gap on the number 97 machine. Things are starting to heat up for 4th here as the 81 machine is starting to reel in that 87 machine. Again, these two are just racing for points positions at this point. None of these guys have a title at hand, but the higher they potentially finish in the point standings, the better off they can be. And you can see a little bit 3 wide further down the back in the pack here, as it looks like that 4 machine, now he has a paint scheme on him. I think that's a Clemson paint scheme on that machine. Racing side by side with that Primo machine is Sawyer. Does get a little bit of a contact going into turn number 1 here. And they'll still be side by side back here. Side by side a little bit further ahead, as the caution's out. I do believe that might have been the 15 machine of Tressenot involved in that one. We'll go to the blimp cam, and for the first time tonight, we'll take a look at the replay. Oh, I think he got a little bit too much of the apron. Yeah, got a little bit too much of the apron there. It does, at least the last time I raced Charlotte, the apron does help this car to turn. Kind of running that Kevin Harvick type of line, getting those left sides onto the paint. But unfortunately, he got loose in front of the 9 machine, and Chris Galen just had nowhere to go. And I just think it's a little bit too much there. And that's what caused that 15 machine to not really go around. He was able to keep it going straight. Just had a little bit of help there, you know. This is our first caution in the race. This will give an opportunity for that 8 machine and Storm Patterson to get one of his 3 laps back here. And we're going to end up pulling chat. And it was a 50-50 there between Storm and Brandon for who's winning the title tonight. There was 2 votes put into that, so there is that. But yes, Storm Patterson is getting his lap back. There is the Budweiser number 8 machine driving around the field. You get one of his 2 laps back, giving him an opportunity here. He still has an opportunity. It's not done yet. We still have 189 laps left to go for him. But he's getting a little bit better position now with this first caution of the race. And we have his number one fan in the chat. He's been, yeah, there it is. Where's my favorite driver? Yeah, looking back to the chats here. There he is, cheering on Storm. The mountain was steep. It's a little bit, you know, the incline's gone down a tiny bit here. It's not over yet for that Budweiser number 8 machine. But I'm willing to bet underneath this caution, a lot of guys are going to be trying to save some fuel here. And it's taking a look at things. 11th on back has made a pit stop here underneath this caution. A lot of guys taking fuel, only some guys putting some tires on that, and Kevin Hash spending 27.2 seconds in his pit box. I think he just wants to be in the most safe position he can be until it's the pay window. But things are lining back up here. It's Kluster, Chapeau, Rittenauer, Landry. Could be Carpino in that 92 machine, not 100% sure. Freeze, Muniz, Cherry, Gale, Pamitat, Carabino, your top 10 here. Its links are up on the iRacing.com pace car. Again, right now, Brandon's the best out of the final four. Has that one spot advantage here over the 97 machine of Eric Chapeau. The difference of 5 points there is because 5 points is what is paid, the difference between first and second when it comes to finishing positions. So there's where the 5 point difference is on your graphic on the screen. But here they approach the Geico restart zone, which I'm pretty sure is no longer Geico. It's Echo Park restart zone, and Brandon Kluster gets a decent jump here. Caught that 97 machine kind of sleeping there on that restart. He's going to try to pull away here like he was there before the caution came out. Be two SFTV machines side by side down the back straightaway. As it'll be pretty side by side for most of the field here early on in this restart. 23 thought about a second there, taking it 3 wide in the middle, but he didn't. Drapeau's going to lose a spot to the 92 machine. So he's going to put himself 2 spots now behind the championship lead. Hopefully he doesn't lose any more here. As this is on the inside of the 87 machine of Rittenauer. That's a battle for 4th on the racetrack. And you can tell a lot of these guys want to go and get that track position now. This is where the track position is important as the 87 machine gets all loose, gets into the wall. It might have had help from the 23 machine. I know for a fact he had help from the 23 machine. We stay green. We go back up front here. That helps single file things out throughout most of the field here. Panitas tries to slide down in front of that 4 machine of Shiflet. He will. Chrysler will be side by side with Coley back there in 11th place. Shiflet's going to lose a spot here, potentially to his teammate Chrysler. And he will. He's actually going to lose a couple. As here goes Coley on the inside of the 12 machine. Kings will line on that car again this week for Chrysler. In a span of half a lap, that 4 machine loses about 4 spots. As Coley's going to try to complete the pass here on Chrysler. The Chrysler has the top of the racetrack. And will have the ability to maintain the 10th position. And this is what I'm expecting here. We go further back. Well, actually not that far back. You can see Shiflett trying to take a position here from Caleb Reese in that 67 machine. This is all happening back just outside the top 10 here, 11th, 12th, and 13th here, giving the opportunity for 14th Sarat to try to reel them in. Also, while that 25 machine and Brandon Klusser, who continues to lead this race, has about a 4/10 second lead here over Eric Chapeau, who did get around that 92 machine for second. And just like that, they're pretty single filed out. Almost all these cars are running to the bottom of the racetrack. And the caution's out. And the 67 machine looks to be involved in it. And we'll go to the blimp cam and we'll take a look and see what happened. I'm going to guess too much apron. Oh, actually, no. The 4 machine. It all starts with Shiflett in that 4 machine. All right. What happened to Shiflett here? All right. This camera's not really going to be the best bet. We're going to go far chase. See what happened. Oh, he got Coley got into the wall. All right. I think I kind of can paint a picture here. So Coley's going to get into the wall a tiny bit here. That's going to check up Shiflett. He's going to try to do a quick maneuver with his wheel there, which is not a smart move. And when he was doing that quick maneuver with the wheel there, that got his car all out of sorts, went back across the track, got the 67 involved, and that's going to be significant damage on that Gamer Fuel number 67 machine. Still got a lot of race left, so maybe he'll spend some time on pit road fixing that machine and trying to get back out and complete some more laps. Because the best thing to do is just to complete as many laps as you can. But our second caution of the race. Someone's saying no to Storm here. Oh no, Storm got some. Okay. Alright. What happened to Storm? We need to go a full minute back. Okay, a full minute might have been too much. Okay, a full minute was not enough. Alright. Alright, let's watch what happens to the Budweiser number 8 machine here. So the wreck's going to happen right in front of him here. And I'm going to guess he had nowhere to go. He had nowhere to go. He was really trying his best to avoid that 1X. Because if he avoided that 1X, he would have been 1 lap down. So that explains a lot why he got involved in that caution. That paints the picture there. There we go. So 4 cars technically involved. The 33 of Coley, the 67 of Rees, the 4 of Shiflett, and the 8 of Storm Patterson. As we have 22 laps completed. Again, we're racing till lap number 35. So we have 13 laps to go on the stage. We'll probably restart with about 12 to go on the stage here because I'm going to guess the iRacing.com official pace car is going to have their lights turn off right about now. So let's go over your running order again. Top 8 cars stayed on the racetrack. So those top 8 cars are Klusser, Drapeau, Landry, Muniz, Cherry, Gale, Carabiner, Hamatat. Some guys who came down underneath that last caution are now behind them. Those are Kreiser, Sawyer, Ott, Trustinot, Brian Rusi. And then Kevin Freese, Kevin Hash, Josh Kelly, Brian Wortman, and Nathan Shiflett are all on pit road or have been on pit road. Storm Patterson 1 lap down the first car, Storm Patterson 2 laps down the first car. There is laps down, and Caleb Reese is on pit road. Looks like he's attempting to fix damage on that 67 machine. Has a meatball flag, so who the hell knows if it's repairable. But you can see the 03 machine and Kevin Hash. Again, I think his game plan is just to play it safe. I'm not real sure, because he's down there on the apron. I think he's just trying to play it safe. And then you see Shiflet going by. Catching up to the field here. The Storm's in a pretty decent spot. Again, because most of the cars have caught up to the field who are not a lap down, as Brandon again gets a great jump here on the 97 machine of Eric Chapeau, giving him almost a 2.5 he's gonna have about a 0.3 of a second lead here as Chris Gill just plows the wall down there off turn number 2, going down and back straightaway. Can Eric have a better restart this time? Looks like another car potentially in the wall there. Looked like the 35 machine might have gotten a tiny bit to the wall. And so he'll be side by side with that 9 machine of Chris Gill. This is now the battle for 7th place on the racetrack. As Brandon still maintains about a 0.2 of a second lead here, single file all the way back to that 7th place battle here between Gale and Sawyerot. When we come to the line this time, it will be 10 laps to go in stage number 1. Gale's going to have the slight advantage, could have the opportunity to clear up if he wants. Doesn't, sticks on the bottom of the racetrack. And Sawyerot's actually could potentially lose another spot. Going to be side by side here for 8th on the racetrack as the race lead is starting to shrink here between the 25 and the 97. Eric starting to reel back in that 25 machine. He'll actually get into the wall there. That's just the current state of this car. It's more mirror driving than looking out the windshield. Brandon saw the opportunity there to cut off any sort of run that Eric's going to have, and unfortunately that made that car so tight, just put him into the wall there off of 4, helped increasing Brandon's lead by a couple of tenths here, but Eric's trying to reel him back in here. And as we come into the line, 8 to go in stage 1. Things are getting a little bit spicy back here for 9th place. Trestonat, Kevin Freeze are trying to challenge that 12 machine of Zach Kreiser. Kreiser's been doing a pretty good job. He did come down pit road the first caution of the race. Looked like he put 4 tires on that King's Hawaii machine. Compared to, I think also Trestonat also came down pit road and put 4 tires on that machine. Matthew Carabina has stayed out this whole entire race. All 28 laps we've completed so far. And he's currently being swallowed up by these guys who came down pit road. But it does look like Freeze, Cully, and Russi all came down pit road for fuel. Take a look at things here for Dumbstorm Patterson fans here. Kevin Hash, the last car in the lead lap, he's 3 seconds behind the car in front of him, but he's only 8.3 off the race lead. Again, I think that is a strategy call. Trying to play it safe because, again, 300 miles is a long way to go here. As the battle for 4th was heating up there for a brief second, it looked like Muniz was able to get on the inside of Cherry here, who's not running the absolute bomb of the racetrack. That's something I've noticed so far, that 45 machine, at least in turns 3 and 4. He's not getting all the way down to the bottom. He's been about a half a lane up. And you can see here, again, he's going to get to the bottom this time. But he's running a little bit of a different line compared to everyone else. We'll see if he does it again here in 3 and 4. Yeah, just about a half a groove up on the racetrack there. But he's been able to pull away from Muniz. And taking a look here, the battle for, it was 11th trying to heat up here. And it will heat up here as Caribbean is thinking about getting on the inside here of Kreiser. but he doesn't because he didn't have the run to stick the nose on the inside. Coming to 3 to go on the stage, 25 machine has about a half a second lead, almost 0.6 of a second lead here on Eric Japeau. He's having your top 2 cars most of the night so far. Followed by that 92 machine of Landry, or Carbonell. I'm not 100% sure who's in the car this week. Matt Cherry and Ryan Muniz, your top 5. Battle for 12th here. Breeze is on the inside of Cully. Again, both these guys have came down pit road, but they did not take tires. They took fuel only on those Chevy Chevrolets. The 23 and the 33 battling here. As Brandon's lead shrunk a tiny bit here. Was about 0.6. Now it's down to 0.3. So we'll see what Brandon does here as we come to 2 to go in stage number 1. Does he switch from the bottom of the racetrack? Does he move up the track? Does he try to take the air away from that number 97 machine? And is he starting to get bigger and bigger in that 25 mirror? So what does he do here? He does run a little bit higher on the entrance in the corner, trying to take any sort of clean air away from that 97 machine. As we come to the white flag in stage number 1. I'm dumb. I'm just gonna give you a quick notation what I got here. So I got a lap counter, right? I got a lap counter on this thing called iRace Control, and it counts upwards. So stage 1's over. That was the completion stage 1. Brandon Kluser won that. And yes, you do have to pit here. The fuel they run in these cars is not a full tank of fuel. They only run 60% fuel in the Iron Thunder Racing League. So compared to what I was running, let's be almost 2 months ago now, anyone was running back 2 months ago in the Coke 600 on iRacing. You're in the range of 64 to probably 68 laps in that race. Here, we're less than that. You can probably solidly maybe get 40 laps. No, that math doesn't make sense. You get 64 to 68, so 10%. Doing quick. You can get about 30. 40 is probably the maximum they can get on a fuel run, if I can do my math right. This is, again, top of the head, quick math. Storm Patterson, by the way, is your relief lap recipient. So there was no option here of staying out and making it to the end of stage 2 on lap 75. That option never existed for these guys. Now, if, it would be a little bit closer for those guys who pitted about 15 laps ago. Still not likely, as it looks like the 15 machine of Trestonat is going to win the race off pit road. Spent 9.6 seconds pit box. I'm going to guess he put 2 tires on that machine, because everyone else except for Ryan Wertman spent about 15 seconds in their pit box. So there is that. I'm not 100% sure. I never actually asked around to get an approximation on the fuel window. 42. I'm just gonna go off of my base knowledge of what I could have ran 600. I would say 65 is a safe number, and you just take that and divide it by. Nope, that number's not right. So if that number's not right. So if we were to go fully green here to the end of stage number 2, which is on lap 75, so 37 laps from now. So these guys should be good based on the calculations I just did on my calculator. So if we say a full fuel run in these next gen cars is 65 laps, you can go about 39. If you are saving hard, you can probably stretch it to 42, but getting the issue is how much time you're losing. I have played that strategy before. I have played that strategy of trying to save as much fuel as you can. So based on the number, what I feel like is about average for a fuel run in this car for a full tank, 65 laps, 60% fuel, you go about 39 if you just push it. I mean, I saw about half a second of fall off with 2 cautions there. You could probably push 40, 41 if tires actually fall off. But we're back racing here in stage number 2. Treston is your race leader. Again, I think he took 2 tires on his pit stop. Not, my honest opinion, not a bad call. Pretty smart choice here, getting himself some track position in clean air. As now you can see here, because none of our championship 4 are leading the race, that's a lot of wall contact back there for the number 35 machine in Sawyer. But you can see there in the bottom right hand of your screen, since no one else is leading the race, it's one spot. The one spot's the difference. And the caution's back out. I'm gonna take a guess the 81 machine and Muniz was involved. Because he's slow on my screen. Same thing with the 35 machine at Soirat. Let's go and see what happened, as that's not far enough back. Alright. Let's see what happened. You know, that was kind of the spot that Ryan was in last week, where Cherry was. I wish I had a teleprompter, because I would then show you what I think Cherry thought here. I think Cherry thought Muniz was going to be a little bit higher up, was going to have the lane there, but he truly also didn't have much of a lane. You can see right here, I don't know where he's going to go. But he thought maybe Muniz is going to run a little bit closer to the wall here, have an opportunity, but he just didn't. And that got to 23, the 35, the 9 got involved, maybe the 48. Yeah, 48's also involved. So there's 5 cars right there, all involved in that. That's going to be very significant damage for a lot of those 5 cars. But yeah, that right there just looked like Cherry was thinking maybe Muniz is going to be a little bit higher on the racetrack, given the opportunity there. And he was just going to be able to potentially stick it 3 wide and still be in a terrible spot going into the first part of the... oh no, what happened to the 15 machine? I think he was trying to sort his tires. That's a huge no-no. Can't do that in this car. Going into the first part of this tri-oval here, it's just... that was an accident waiting to happen. But underneath this caution, you are correct. The Budweiser number 8 machine of Storm Patterson is back on the lead lap. And his hopes and dreams of going back-to-back in the Iron Thunder Racing League is no longer dead. It's still there. He has an opportunity. His teammates, though, damaged right front. Tires not even touching the ground. Muniz is in his pit box. That car is damaged all over the place. Drapeau, running third. You know, I honestly think Storm should have ran to the grass, got the 1X, because I feel like he would have gotten enough cautions through that point. I can totally feel why you feel bad, but it's one of those things where Storm's trying to play the game of avoiding the 1X, trying to get the lap back. It's nothing truly. It's a race deal kind of thing. It's just trying to play it safe for his race, but ultimately didn't take the safest route. But the IRC.com pace car is off the racetrack. Trust or not, is going into the Geico restart zone, and that's the best restart we've seen from the outside lane here all night long. As Drapeau's going to have an opportunity to get to the inside of Brandon Clousser, who's here in 1 and 2. As Petit Machine and Russi gets into the wall there. I mean, Drapeau is there. And I think Brandon was almost... Brandon should have been wrecked there. But he will take over the race lead from Tresnant. That was the narrowest of margins, if I have seen it. I really think Brandon's driving out of that rear view mirror right now. 44 laps in, 156 laps to go. Stage wins do not matter to him. Honestly, if you want to just let Eric go now, let him go. Just don't wreck yourself, Brandon. So the other Championship 4 contenders are back in 15th place and, say, 18th place. Right now, it's mano a mano. It's you two against each other. And there's a side-by-side battle back a little bit further in the pack here. That's between Shiflett and Carabina. Shiflett sent it into the corner, was able to get around that 19 machine here. There's a battle a little bit further ahead between Kreiser and Freeze. Freeze was involved in the last caution of that 23 Under Armour Wounded Warrior Project machine. Seems to be all right. As it looks like both drivers made contact with the wall there. It seems like a lot of drivers made contact with the wall there. Also, that 9 machine of Chris Gill also seems to be all right after that caution. Same thing with the 35 machine of Sawyer-Ott. So, everyone looks to be okay after being involved in that last wreck, except for Muniz, who's... Well, no, he's still out there. Could have wheel damage. I'm not 100% sure. Coley's trying to reel in Kreiser here. This is about for 7th. As Kreiser's trying to reel in Freeze for 6th. This is all happening behind race leader Brandon Clousserhouse. As Coley's going to take a look on the inside here. Kreiser again for 7th on the racetrack, and he will go ahead and get the spot over that 12th King's Hawaiian machine. Kind of looks like you just kind of have to send it in there to see what sticks. As it looks like it's hopefully calmed down for a little bit. Maybe we can get some laps logged here. And as we complete 49. 26 left to go in the stage. I'm reading my numbers right. My numbers are being read right. Caleb, if you're still in the chat, is your race over? Is your race done for? Just wondering if you're able to get that 67 machine back on the racetrack. You can see the meatball flag's gone. If you can, I honestly would just continue to go out there and run laps, even if you think your race is over. There's nothing like just going out there and... Oh, did you get the, too much damage? So that's, one of the worst things I've seen in a while. I hate that flag when that car has too much damage. Damn, I hate to hear that. But it was fun commentating races with you, man. It was with you on the racetrack. Put on some interesting battles, and I look forward to seeing you back on the racetrack for season 11, whenever that is next year. But we went back to the race late here as Drapeau was closing in on Klusterhuis. That gap has opened up a tiny bit here. The race leader is in the best position. If you watch, even if you watched Iowa in real life this weekend, the race leader has all control of this. Second place has absolutely nowhere where they can go. They have an opportunity to take a look on the inside, and all of a sudden, race leader goes, boop, nope, that's gone. So Brandon's currently in the best position right now because he has all the clean air and all the opportunity to move that car down to wherever he wants to defend that position. Now, if Drapeau gets sick and tired of that at some point, or whoever's behind him, if it's Storm, if it's Sherry, if it's Caribbean or Russi, do they just go ahead and say, nah, I'm sick of it, and just move them out of the way? We'll be determined. Again, you have your two championship leaders out front here. That is Klusterhuis and Drapeau. Your next highest is Storm Patterson. He is 5.4 seconds off the race leader back in 14th place. After his early misfortunes, he's sitting back in 14th place on the lead lap. And again, I think Kevin Hash is just out here playing it safe. He's still got 145 laps in his race left. Stage points do not matter to him. He's just going to go out here and play this safe, which I honestly think is the best thing to do. Worry about the last 125 laps. There's really nothing you can gain besides knowledge on the track in the first 75. Speaking of that, we have 19 laps to go in stage number 2. Into stage 2 is lap 75. Stage 2 ends on lap 75. And here you can see Drapeau's trying to reel in Klusterhuis again. It looks like Brandon has the opportunity at corner exit compared to Drapeau. And based on lap times, they're 0.8 of a second off their fastest lap, 20 laps into a stint. So there is some tire fall off, just not enough. Just looking around here, the battle for third's heating up behind the race leaders. Cherry, and again, I'm just going to say it's Landry that's in that car this week. I'm not 100% sure. As I know there, when Quick had his substitute driver, and Quick came back, it didn't get changed on iRacing, and the way that works on iRacing, if you have a substitute driver and want to put into that car, you essentially just change their name on their thing, so then they know, hey, this is who in the car. So I don't know. Again, I don't know if it's Landry that's in the car or if it's Carmino that's in the car. But looks like whoever's in that 92 machine should be able to... Nope, he's still going to be side by side with that 45 machine down in the back straight away. Potentially has a shot to clear him going into turn 3. And he will. $60 complete. 15 to go in stage 2, 140 to go in the race tonight. For those of you keeping track of the mile markers throughout the race here, We have reached the 90-mile mark. So 65 then? No? So we're about 5 laps away from the 100-mile mark here in the race tonight. Taking a look throughout the field here. Things are pretty spread out. Clusers has about a 4/10 second lead over Depoe, which then has about 1.2 back to the 92 machine in third, who has about a half a second over the 45 machine in Cherry in fourth. Tristan Ott is 0.8 of a second behind the 45 machine in fifth. Josh Coley's another 0.8 of a second here behind him, but it's also now being challenged by the 23 machine of Freeze for sixth. And Chris Gale is starting to get into this picture here. And they're racing with teammates behind them. Freiser and Shiflett are side by side here. As this would be for the final points paying position in the stage. Again, drivers not in yellow have an opportunity for stage points. Drivers in yellow, stage points do not matter. By the way, Sawyer, he's 5.4 off the race leader in ninth. Skipped right over him there, going back to the battle for 10th. Caribbean is challenging Shiflett for 11th here. As those two are side by side. For the 11th position, as Shiflett will hang on to it. Thorpe Patterson 13th. Right when I click on him, he's going to blink like a Christmas tree. He's 7 seconds off the race leader, 0.3 of a second behind these two. 14th is Brian Rusi, 1.7 behind these guys. And he's currently racing with Ryan Muniz, whose car is just got a little bit of damage everywhere. Bram Kamtat, I think that car is damaged. He's running 30.9 compared to 30.4 from the race leaders. Kevin Hash, last year championship for drivers, currently sitting back in 17th place, 13.7 off a race later. And then Brian Wortman sitting back in 18th place. Ray Rittenauer is the last car on the racetrack in 19th place, 4 laps down. So he's right now in position, if things go well over the next 10 laps here, to get at least one of those 4 laps back. As we were going through the field there, the battle for 7th was simmering, and now it's coming to a boil here. As Chris Gale's on the inside of the 33 machine of Josh Cully. See if he can potentially complete the pass on the bottom of the racetrack here. Again, Gale's in that Koala DAC car. Calls it a Cadillac, but it's a Chevy Chevrolet. As these two are still going to be side by side. Sir Patterson was able to move up to 11th here, got around Carabina and Freiser. Now sets his eyes on that Ford machine of Shiflett. But back to the bow for 7th here. So I don't know if they're actually making contact with the wall there, or if that's just net code from my side of things. Those two were side by side there down the back straightaway. 68 complete. 7 to go in stage number 2. I think with the caution we had there, they're safe on fuel. Might have been safe from my math calculations here. No matter what. It looks like Cully's going to maintain 7th. As now Sorat challenges Chris Gale for 8th here. I mean, these guys do have something to race for here. Looks like Gale might have gotten into the wall a tiny bit there into 1-2, going to the high side of the racetrack. As Sawyer's going to try to see if he can get the inside of Clay, but he couldn't. He's actually going to potentially be not be able to maintain the pass here on Gale for 8th. As, again, you're missing nothing for the race lead as Brian Clusers has pulled out to a 0.7 of a second lead here. And you're really not missing anything here. Storm Patterson has moved up to 10th. Got around Shiflet. But back for the battle for 7th here. The more these guys race, the more the opportunity for Patterson to get in here, but I don't think he has enough laps here in stage number 2, as 71 are complete, 4 to go in the stage. As Sawyer was able to get around the 9 machine of Chris Gale, but can he complete the pass on the 33 machine of Josh Cully? That is to be determined here. By the way, the lead has increased to about 0.8 of a second now in the race lead. Back in 7th, Sawyer was able to get around Cully. Gale's also able to get around Cully. I'm going to guess Cully might have gotten into the wall there. Yeah, because he ran a 31.4 compared to a 30.7 to 31.1. I'm going to guess that 33 machine flipped a tiny bit of the wall here. As Brain Clusters comes to the line here. 2 to go on the stage. Pit road is closed. Seven and a half hundredths is a lead here. No. Yeah. Almost 0.8 of a second is the lead here for the championship and the race. It's another 2.6 back to the 92 machine here in 3rd. But coming to the line, will be the white flag of stage number 2. 1 lap to go. Cully has lost a couple of spots here. I wonder if those tires are gone. He might even lose 10th place in the stage. Things are starting to get spicy back here. I don't think it'll make a difference here, because I think Cully should be able to maintain that spot. Brain Cluster is going to sweep the stage. Now for the final stage spot. Cautions out. Doesn't make a difference anyways. Cully will get that spot. But 75 laps have been completed. 125 left to go to determine who our Season 10 champion is. Right now, you're early. You're gonna do math on the calculator again. 1.5 times 75. Nope, that's not the number. You're 112.5 mile mark. Brain Klusterhoos is your favorite to win the championship. Now here's the question: Does Kevin Hash finally start going here? Can Storm Patterson continue his march through the field? Does Eric have any way, shape, or form of getting around that 25 machine? And how many pit stops do they need to make here in the final stage? I think that is the question of the day. The strategy call is what's going to be interesting, because there's numerous strategies that can be ran here. You could take the 4 tires. You could try to save, and if again, my ballpark number for fuel, based on what the average fuel run in the Coke 600 in this car was, that's only comparison I had 2 months ago, which is about 65 laps, and we got 60% fuel tank here. So my bare minimum, I think your bare minimum end
or max, or wherever you want to look at it, it's 39 laps. Having 123 laps to go, you're able to stretch it to 41, you can make it on 3. If you can't, you're pitting 4 times. Also depends on the number of cautions we get. There's the strategy is just off the roof here. It's too soon to tell. Kind of like my friend I went to the race with. He was asking me who I think would win this race. I'm like, it's still too soon to tell. First thing in the grandstands going, who do you think is going to win this race? And there's 45 laps left. I'm like, who the hell knows? And we still have 122 laps to go. 121 when we go back racing. It's still too soon to tell. So after that round of pit stops, looks like everyone has came down pit road for 4 tires. It's Brandon Klusser's Eric DePoe. 92 machine, it could be Carbonell, it could be Landry. The 45 Cherry, Treston Ott, Chris Gale, Sawyer Ott, Storm Patterson, Kevin Free, Josh Coley, year top 10. Carabina, Shiflett, Rusi, Kreiser, Muniz, Hash, Wortman, Pamitat. Round out your cars are on the lead lap. Your relief lap recipient underneath that caution was 87 machine of Ray Rittenauer. And it's for the final time in season number 10. We're going to be in stage 3. There go. You know, I was in the same boat. I would always go into practice thinking about the strategy, thinking, all right, I always practice a couple times before the race, be like, all right, what's the max fuel run I can get? If it goes green, going all out, how much can I save? And that would screw me over because they would make it no matter what. But into the supposed Geico restart zone we go. We're back racing here at Charlotte for stage number 3. And unlike the last restart, the outside lane did not get a jump this time. As a 92 machine is actually going to clear the 97, as there's actual, I'm 100% willing to bet that was contact made by the 33 machine. Here's the 92 was looking at potentially to send on the inside of the 25 machine. As things are starting to get spicy here on this restart. Storm Patterson here is up to 6th now, trying to complete the pass on the 15 machine of Trestonot. And he will. Now sets his eyes on that 9 machine of Chris Gale. 92 looked like he got a little bit loose there. Off of turn number 2, giving the opportunity for the 97 to take a look on the outside, and he will. Also potentially an opportunity for the 45 to see if he can make a pass on the outside. And he does not. All right, so equal going down the front straightaway here at Charlotte. By the way, these guys are running the fastest laps of the race. I should have took a look at the track temp at the beginning of the race, but the track temp right now is a nice 81 degrees. Not bad. And as they're still going to be side by side here, as the 92 machine will go around off the front bumper of the 9 machine. He's off the racetrack. We'll keep it green. Unfortunately, he will go onto pit road, so that will be a black flag for that 92 machine. As Storm Patterson is going to try to take advantage here after Gale got into the 92 machine there. Move himself up into 4th. Freeze is also going to see if he can take advantage of that, to try to crack himself into the top 5. And he will. So that little bit of time he lost there as you're making contact with the 92 machine will lose him about 2 spots, 3 spots on the racetrack. Does that 9 machine. Trestonot has a car to his inside. That's the 19 machine Carabina. While the 33 machine of Coley has the 4 machine of Shiflett on his inside. 116 laps to go. As here comes Muniz. That car looks like a brand new machine out there. Was able to get a decent amount of damage fixed underneath that caution. 92 machine looked like he had his penalty cleared. Got wrecked on the pit road, which is 100%, I feel like, the right thing to do there. But unfortunately, he's now 18.6 seconds behind the race leader. We'll need to hope for a caution or 7 to get him back up into the position he was. By the way, that 03 machine, Kevin Hash, still just running at the back of the pack, has not made any sort of attempt at making a pass yet. As Storm Patterson's trying to reel in that 45 machine here for third. In that Budweiser number 8 machine. Gale's trying to close in that 23 machine of Freeze. Seeing what he can do. They're side by side back there for 13th place between Brian Wortman and Brian Russi. And they're side by side a little bit further ahead here between the 15 and the 4 machine. Looks like the 4 is going to prevail and take that position here, moving up into 9th. As Sherry's now challenging DePoe here. Looks like he might have had maybe a little bit of contact with the wall there that lap. We're at 30.5 compared to 30.2 or 30.1 and a 30.1. So not real sure here what is going on here with that 97 machine, unless he went into saving fuel this lap. Starting to save fuel, starting to take a look at those numbers, getting to those really important strategy calls here in this stage. As Freeze is looking on the inside of the blinking 8 machine here. He will complete the pass. As now Chris Gill looks on the inside of Storm Patterson. And he will complete the pass. As Josh Coley will now take a look on the inside of Storm Patterson. And he will complete the pass. So Storm goes from being in a decent spot now all the way back into 7th place here. And sorry, I was taking a look on the inside here. I honestly think that maybe these two might be getting into fuel saving. They might be thinking, all right, this is the point of the run. We saw we can make maneuvers here if we need to. Let's go and save a tiny bit of fuel. I wonder if that's what they're thinking about right now. Because they're just, again, they're just dropping back to the pack. As Coley is now looking outside of Drapeau here. This is for 5th place. Coley is one of 3 guys in the field tonight who have won a race here at Charlotte in the league. Kevin Hash has won here twice. Coley's won here twice. And Matt Cherry, I believe, was the other one who has a win in this race. I'm really curious what happened to Brandon there. Because his 7/10 of a second lead has now fallen down to about 3/10. I wonder if he is now getting into the fuel saving window. I'm not really sure. Yeah, 30.582, 583 last lap room. I wonder if some of these guys saw, hey, 3 stops instead of 2, so let's start backing it up here. Unless the tires are truly gone. The tires could be gone. Yeah, 31 won that last lap for Brandon. So I'm not real sure if tires are gone or if he decided to save some of that Sunoco racing fuel. But it doesn't look like Coley's out there having any sort of issue. Same thing with Freeze, as they're trying to see if they can maneuver their way through the field. As the Ford Machinist Shiflet has the caution's out. I wonder. It does look like the Ford Machinist Shiflet was involved. We'll go back to the replay and take a look. Oh. Oh! Alright. Let's see what unfolded here. Ooh. Alright. So this starts up here with the 97 machine of Eric Drapeau. Again, I think Drapeau is trying to save fuel. Sawyer got onto his inside. Shiflet trying to avoid all of that. Well, no, it's not really avoid. He got contact made with the 81 machine there. We'll watch Shiflet here. Tries to save it. Kapow. The 97 was oh so close. We'll go on board with him. Oh so close. I mean, there's potential toe link damage there too, to having his race ended. Oh, Shiflet can't see. Now you can see. Let's get it stopped. Alright. So that's why we're under caution yet again tonight. Is everybody's going to come down pit road to the service of their crewmen here. So 103 laps to go. This will now put it into a 4-stop race no matter what. As Matt Cherry won the race off pit road there. Followed by Brandon Klooster's, Josh Kelly, Kevin Freeze, Storm Patterson. I guess Brian Workman's going to come back down pit road, but he did come up pit road in 6th. Chris Gale, Ryan Muniz, Sawyer Ott, Matthew Carabina, Tristan Ott, Brian Rusi, and Kevin Hash. Drapeau's still on pit road. He's spending a decent amount of time down there in his pit box. Landry's still on pit road, spending. He's actually now leaving pit road. Kreiser still in his pit box. Habitat, I think he's still fixing damage from his wreck earlier. Rittenauer, I believe, was your relief lap recipient. And I think Shiflet has called it a night. Yeah, this is now... This is interesting. We have reached... a interesting point in this race. Ken, I'm going off of my calculations. I have not been in one of these cars with this fuel load at this track. But my calculations off of numbers I have from 2 months ago says that it's still a 3-stop race from here on out. 101 laps ago. My number, just loosely number, is 39 with a 60% fuel tank. 39, 68, and then you need to make a 33 lap run to the end there. The question is, do you split these last 101 laps if it goes caution free? You go 35, 33, 33, some way, shape, or form there. or you just run it. You just run it dry every single time and put the bare minimum amount of fuel into there. I'm not sure. It's a lot that's going through these guys' minds right now as they enter the Geico restart zone. So we're back racing here from Charlotte. And this time Brandon did not get a decent jump on the outside lane here. It's going to have Cully on his inside. As Cully is trying to go and take the race lead here. Brandon's going to try to take a look at the bottom of the racetrack here. Block any sort of advance here from that Budweiser number 8 machine, Storm Patterson. Keeping him as the first driver in the championship 4. Cherry's back into the race lead here after Cully had a little bit of a sniff of it. Halfway through the race, 150 miles down. But Cully had a sniff of that race lead. He wants to lead it again. Reese able to get around that 25 machine of Klusterhuis. Moving him up into third. Again, Freese has won once this year. I believe it was Kansas. Had an opportunity to win Talladega, but did not do it. So there is that. Just like early on in the race, it's two cars battling for the championship here. Separated by one position here. It's now just Brandon Klusterhuis and the AS Storm Patterson. Just taking a look at things here. Everyone's, still close, but looks like pretty single filed out here. As here goes Pamitat looking at the inside of the 50 machine of Russi. This is a battle for a 12th, and it looks like that 48 machine is going to complete the pass on Russi, moving him up into 12th. Gill's trying to get over the back bumper of the 8 Budweiser machine and Storm Patterson. But Storm looks like he shut the door on that. As it's pretty single filed out throughout the whole entire field. The battle for third points could be heating up. Drapeau and Hash competing at these pretty spots here. Yeah, this is some 6, almost 7 seconds off the race leader. But does not look like that battle is coming to fruition right now. Back out front, Cherry is being challenged by Cully for the race lead. Cully's just looking for any sort of clean air he can get onto that front of that CRT number 33 machine. Has a run off at turn number 4, but nowhere to go with it going into 1. So we'll try to see if we can get a run off the top groove here in 1 and 2. But has nothing going there. Coming to 94 laps to go. 92 machine's going to go around the high line, get around that 35 machine of Sorat, making his way back up into 8th. And I think he's just going to go try to see if we can just continue to pick him up one by one here by running that high groove. He'll get by his affiliated teammate there, not an actual teammate, but an affiliated teammate of Muniz, moving him up into 7th. Everyone else looks like they're just minding their P's and Q's here. He's just saying, the caution's out. Trying to see why the caution's out. I mean, I'm not sure. We'll just go through the field here on the replay. with the blimp cam. All right, caution's out there. I'm not seeing anything that says, hey, here's why the caution should be out. Unless someone has a reason why the caution's out, because I don't. No. And a debris caution is the reason for this caution. That's why we're cautioning here yet again tonight. This time it's our, let me go count, 1, 2, 3, 4. If there's 6 caution in the race. Seventh caution in the race. It's for debris. Yeah. That makes sense. It's a debris caution. So now sitting here, top 6 cars stayed out on the racetrack. So all the way back to Brian Rusi and 6 stayed out on the racetrack. The first car who came down pit road for fuel was an I machine of Chris Scales. Sorry, I also took look like fuel only. Freeze might took 2 tires, and it looks to be 4 for Patterson. Muniz took 4, Pimitet took 4, Hash's back down pit road, Ryan's back down pit road. Everyone else is leaving pit road. That's where gonna have the guy point out where the debris was on the racetrack.
Yeah, do you have a copy, Alex?
I have a copy. Where was the debris?
The debris was in the grandstand. We received reports of a fan. He fell, and so we wanted to throw the caution in remembrance of that fan.
We had to get an ambulance across track. That makes sense. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
That
just wanted to let you know.
All right. So it wasn't debris. It was medical attention in the grandstands. All right. That makes sense.
So yeah, so that is what it is, but it looks like we're going back green here, so I'll let you get back to it.
Yeah, we're going to go back racing, yeah. And it's Cherry and Clusers on the front row, followed by the 92 machine of Landry and the 15 machine of Trust or Not, Carabiner and Russi. All 6 of those cars stayed out on the racetrack. Everyone else behind them came down pit road underneath that most recent caution. And it's again, Brandon did not get a good jump on that restart. Potentially will lose a spot here to the 92 machine. He will fall right in line behind him. Actually, no, he won't. He's going to challenge for second place here. Side by side for second place in the 92 and the 25. The 92 should have all momentum coming off the corner here, off the top. But not as much as I thought. As they'll still be equal here. 92 has the advantage going into the corner. And it looks like he will maintain second place for now. As it's just a hornet's nest behind him here. Carabiner stay on the track and will go onto the wall, and the caution will come out for that. Alright. We're approaching 9:30 in the Central Time Zone, and we're underneath our what looks to be our 8th caution in the race. To the blimp cam and the replay? Replay? No? Okay. The blimp cam and the replay. Alright, we're gonna have to do this manually, I guess. So these guys came down pit road. Some took 2, some took 4. I was looking at the wrong car, by the way. Bruce is one of those guys who stayed on the racetrack. I think Gale kind of got put into a rough position here. And unfortunately got into the left rear of the 50 machine, put him into the wall, and that was just a precautionary document. Because who knows if he would have fully went a round or not underneath that one. Again, I believe we are underneath our 8th caution of the race. Taking a look at things here, pit road is open. 25 machine brain inclusers has come down pit road. So now for him, a lot of saving, but it can be done on one stop. Yeah, I would say I did pull a fox there, if that can't work. The button for the replay didn't work. I reloaded the timing screen, so maybe it works now? No? Do I... Alright, the replay doesn't work. That's cool. Yeah, the burn bar is going to be interesting here, right? We're going to have 85 laps to go. Taking a look at things here, 3 cars have not pitted since the stage. Or since the first caution after the stage, or... Yeah. Since the first caution after the stage. That'll be the 45 Cherry, the 92 of Landry, and the 19 of Caribbean. They for sure going to need a pin within the next 20 to 23-ish laps. Give or take a lap or 2 both ways. The next group of guys, Freeze, Storm, Habitat, Wortman, Muniz, they all came underneath the caution before this one. They got another solid 33 to 35 laps of fuel in their tanks. Everyone else, Rusi, Klusterhus, Coley, Gale, Tresnant, Eric DePost, Sawyer Ott, Zach Preiser, Ray Rittenauer, Kevin Hash, they could potentially save some fuel and make it here to the end of the race. It'll be close. They need to find a way to get about, based on my calculations, 3 laps of fuel. So it's gonna be fun here. Cherry did get an amazing restart there. Was able to also help not only get Freeze clear, but get that 8 machine and Storm Patterson clear here. Up into 3rd. First time tonight he has led the championship battle. In 3rd place. You know what? I will gladly appreciate that. I will love to read the reports of when people pit. That'd be nice. As Kevin Freese is in second, Zorn Paris in third, Landry's in fourth, Pamtat's in fifth. Brian Clisers has made his way up to seventh here behind Ryan Muniz in sixth. As the first 9 cars have gotten into a single file pattern here. It's behind them where the cluster has started. Side by side for 9th and everything behind it. It's Treston and Matthew Carabina. As Treston should be clear here now, putting Sawyer out side by side with the 19 machine here. This is now for 10th. As Brian Wertman, I think Brian has reached his point in the race where he's going to start racing. He's going to challenge that 19 machine here. This is for 11th on the racetrack. Brian made his first playoff appearance this year, and it's a lot of fun. Yeah, everyone is just hitting the wall for 2. It's probably because the setup's tight. Battle for 6 is heating up. Clusers on the inside of Muniz. We'll see if there's any bad blood between these two after the wreck a week ago. I am now really starting to sound like actual NASCAR media here. Because, it's tight. Oh, these guys are blocking. By the way, the 81, the 48 are teammates with the 8 machine of Storm Patterson. He's able to get around one of them. Now sets his eyes again on potential enemy in the 81 machine of Muniz. There's 79 laps to go. Brandon will clear the 81 machine, moving him up into 5th. But Muniz says, hold the phone, not so fast. Let me take a look back on the inside here. Oh, it's gonna get tight off of 4. But Brandon's able to prevail and move up into 5th place. So he's able to get around those 2 blockades. Now they got the affiliated car of Landry he has to get around. Well, Landry's in the not so ideal fuel position here, as he's probably gonna have to pit in the next 14 or so laps. No, there's no such thing as team orders. Team orders do not exist in stock car auto racing. There's never such thing as team orders, manufacturer orders, or anything. No one would dare execute team orders. It's still Matt Cherry out front, followed by Kevin Freese, Storm Patterson, and the 92 machine Landry. Here comes Pamitat with a run down the back straightaway here, trying to set it up on the inside of the 25 machine. It is Luke. Alright, so Luke is in a 92 machine. I could probably just check this Discord if Luke's in the Discord channel. He's on. No. I'll take your word for it. Luke's in a 92 machine. Sure. I'm someone's in that 92 machine here. His brain's able to get around him. And he'll move his way up into 4th. He's now 1 spot behind Patterson in the championship battle here with 75 laps to go. By the way, when these guys have been racing, things are starting to heat up for 16th place. That's a battle between Drapeau and Kreiser. It looks like Drapeau is going to be able to maintain that spot for now. Kevin Hash is still just running back here in 18th place. Has a clean car to talk about, which is cool to see. The battle for 13 sitting up. Rittenauer got back on the lead lap. Now he's seeing what he can do in that lucky dog. Number 87 machine. As doing quick math, 74 divided by 2 is 37. So the utmost earliest for those guys who have not pitted since the first caution in the stage has opened. They completed about 30 laps of fuel in this run. Again, they could probably go another 9 to 11-ish laps based on the number of cautions they've had in this stage. So we'll see what happened there. Storm did get around the 23 machine of Freeze. And as Freeze is starting to lose a couple spots here, he'll get in. Oh no! Oh no! Alright. Let's go see what unfolded here. So Brain got the better run to the corner. And in my honest opinion, should have waited to make this move. Yes, there's a hole for him to go through. Well, not really. We'll back it up here. If he gets onto the apron, there's space for him to make that move. He should have honestly waited. He put himself in a worse position. And that could be all they wrote for the 25 machine's hopes and dreams of winning the Season 10 championship. Again, I feel like, yes, there is a gap there. Got to the throttle better than the 23 did. Letting off the gas in this car does make this car tight. So potentially he could have gotten tight and got up the track into the 48 machine. He's just in a very, very rough spot here. There is a hole. There is a gap, but you need to run more of the Harvick line to complete that pass. And honestly, that might be what just cost him the championship. But you're right, Brian Werman did stay out on the racetrack. Everyone else did come down pit road. From here, it is now no doubt a one-stop race. Everyone can complete this race on one stop. The question is it 2 or is it 4? That's the question, with probably going to come to 69 laps to go. 2 or 4 tires. I honestly think the winning call could be 2 tires. I don't know. I have not drove this car with this set of tires. With this tire set. To determine if 2 tires is the way to go. But it is a potential call. Dupo spent a decent amount of time on pit road getting his damage fixed. Brandon was on pit road for a decent amount of time getting his damage fixed, but we'll need probably a decent amount of cautions here to probably get that left front fixed. But we'll have 69 laps to go when they come back to the line. Again, it's pretty simple for everybody in this field, except for Brian Werman. Brian still has to pit twice. All hail Brian for staying out here. Love seeing the 74 machine out front. Honestly, I think rain's in the area. Call the race. Lightning off turn number 2. But it's Wortman, Cherry, Sawyer, Storm, Patterson, Brandon, Pipitet, Landry, Carbonell, whoever the hell's in the 92 machine, Josh Coley and company, Muniz, Gale, everyone else in your top 10 here as we're back racing. As Brian gets a great start here. Caught that 45 machine sleeping on the restart here. We'll be side by side with the 35 machine going into turn number 1 and 2. 35 took 2 tires here to get him into this spot. is how long can Brian hang on to lead? He will lose it here in turn 3. And so it'll be that. Oh, wait. Oh. It's not done yet. He still has the chance here for the race lead. Still side by side 1 and 2. Brian lost it there for a brief second. And I think maybe, no, he will still be side by side down the back straightaway. Into turn 3. All right, the lightning's gone. Brian's no longer the leader. He's going to lose second. He's probably going to lose third. Shout out to Brian. Everyone in the league loves you, Brian. It's amazing to see that you stayed out here, man. And I honestly think he might bring that 74 machine down pit road. Or he's just going to run this thing out of field. As started out as your race leader here in the Primo machine, he finished 3rd last week at Bristol, I believe. He had a decent finish a week ago. And out of your championship 4, Storm Patterson in 3rd, who's currently leading it. As the 23 machine was down there on the apron. No clue why he's on the apron. He's coming to the attention of his pit crew. 25, it's damaged bad still. I don't know how much was in the terms of wheel damage in the left front and potentially left rear. He's running about the same lap times as Hash was running the whole entire race, so not real sure in terms of damage there. And he's running well over a half second off of what the race leaders are running. But Japo, I think he's gotten his car all fixed from earlier contact with the wall. He's up into 10th. He was someone in the earlier part of the race when the track was probably at its hottest. So, I'm not real sure how he'll do here in this cooler track temperature state. We currently have a track temp of 81 degrees according to my timing and scoring. That hasn't changed in the hour or so I checked it last. Yeah, and I'm not sure why the 23rd machine has pulled it off the racetrack. I'm not real sure. But the battle for 8th is heating up. Everything else has been pretty single file to this point. Even the battle for 6th is heating up here. It looks like Yunus is trying to challenge the 9 machine of Chris Gale. The more these guys want to race over the next 62 laps and play in the favor of the 25 machine, potentially we see another caution or 3. But I mean, we are approaching 10 o'clock in the central time zone here. And we still have 61 laps to complete here, 60 and a half. Still up front is the 35 machine. By the way, Brian has not pitted yet. He would probably need to pit in the next 10, 11 laps-ish. And then we'll probably need to pit at least one more time after that. But I mean, the battle for... Well, actually looks like Japo just completed the pass on the 15 machine of Trestonat, moving him up into 9th place. Still needs to make up 6 spots to be your championship leader. Yeah, no... I have no clue why the 23's in the pits. I'll see if I got any sort of message anywhere. Why... And And no, I don't have any message why that 23 car is still in the pits. But Sawyer has made the 2 tires work so far. He's got the race lead. He's in the best position to, I guess, defend on those 2 tires. He's able to look out that mirror and just be like, you know what? We'll block whatever we need to block. We'll do whatever we need to do. There is 2 attempts at an overtime if we need them. I really hope we don't need them, because 300 miles is enough. And speaking of that, we have been here for an hour and a half already to complete 143 laps. Please don't. By the way, Landry's looking to use the high side here to see if he can get around championship leader Storm Patterson. As we are about 20 or so laps away from the early window of pitting here. In 20 or so laps from that point. It does not look like Landry it's not really getting that high side to work anymore. I mean, Storm has a 6-car gap right now to his next championship contender. He doesn't really need to, if he wants to give up 1 spot, he can. Anything more than that, he'll start to need to be getting a little bit worried here. And yeah, this is your closest battle on the racetrack. I mean, besides Republic on the inside of Coley here, they make contact a tiny bit going into turn 3. Drapeau washes up the track here, getting very, very close. In the battle for 15th, I mean, it's there. Habitat looks like he's going to potentially complete the pass on a 92 machine. Oh, Landry, Carbonneau, whoever the hell's in that machine. I have no clue who's in that machine. It could be Luke, it could be Landry. I'm not sure. But he has fallen off of 3rd place Storm Patterson in the cusp of 5th place Habitat, who's also being challenged by that 9 machine of Chris Gale. We have seen Gale in a couple spots tonight where a caution has come out from him. Hopefully we don't see another one from him, so. But he will complete the pass on Habitat, moving him up into 5th. Now he'll set his eyes onto the 92 machine. I mean, the battle is getting closer here. Actually, as I say that, it winds back out. Still Sawyer out front here. They maintain that 0.3 of a second gap. Storm's trying to close in on the 45 machine of Matt Cherry. Storm won the championship last season in that car. Seeing if he can go and win it this year in the Budweiser 8 machine. Drapeau is starting to reel in Cully here for 7th. Sorry, 8th. This is for 8th on the racetrack. And again, your most interesting battle on the racetrack is this one right here for 4th place. Your weekly reminder, your last weekly reminder for a while. Drink water. Always a good idea to have yourself a nice quality glass of H2O. Quality bottle of H2O. Just make sure you drink some water, as this is going to be the closest anyone's been in a while on the inside of the 92 machine of whoever, the inside of the 92 machine, whoever the hell is in it. And Skill's trying to see if he can complete the pass on using the bottom of the racetrack. 92 is going to have better look at defending it here using the top lane because you get more momentum. Sounds like someone's motor blew on pit road. I'm going to guess that's a 23 machine. probably did not turn that off. Oh, actually, it might have been the 19 machine of Carabina. Might have gotten loose somewhere because he has magically towed it and looks like maybe Alt F forward. Again, we're about 10 laps away from the early end of the pit window opening. Who will be the first one to come down pit road? Who does that? Who stays out? Who takes 2 tires? This is all interesting strategy, if I have to say. As things are starting to get held up here, all stemming from the race leader. Everyone in the top 9 is about 1.5 seconds behind Soyrat. So this is all stemming from behind race leader Soyrat. As Chloe will look on the inside of Habitat to see if he can complete the pass. But he won't. Now he'll have a challenge from the 81 machine of Muniz to see what he can do. Muniz was in the boat last week of saying, nah, I am not running another race, and here he is running top 10 yet again. In 8th place currently, trying to see if he can take 7th. Landry going to the top of the racetrack. Closest he's been until a while to that A machine is Storm Patterson. Gets into the back of him. Going through the tri-oval. As things are starting to get very, very hairy up here. With 44 and a half laps to go. Gale's going to the top of the racetrack, see if he can get a run to potentially get the outside of the 92 machine. But unfortunately, he'll not have the 48 to his inside. Again, we're about, doing quick math, 5 laps away from the early end of the pit window opening. Looked like the 97 got a tiny bit of the wall there. No harm, no foul done there. And as we go back to our cluster of cars here from second on back. It'll still be side by side for 5th place. Gale's really pushing that 92 high here. But they're able to maintain it for now, giving an opportunity actually for the 48 to clear the 9. Now setting his eyes on the 92 machine. All this racing is still the top 9 cars are still within 2 seconds of the race leader. As it looks like the 97 is taking a look on the inside of the 33 machine. This is for 7th on the racetrack. Coley will get the run off the top. Be able to maintain it for now. Lose a tiny bit of advantage going into 1 and 2. As it'll be equal there going into 1 and 2. "41 laps to go, coming to 40 this time." Brian Werman has pitted. He pitted about 6 laps ago. Freeze says, nope, never mind. That number is wrong. This stint 6 laps because he's been on pit road. When do we see these guys come down for their potentially final pit stop of the season? It's getting reports 87 machines down pit road for his last stop of the race. Taking a look at this 87 machine, looks like he will put 4 tires on it. Fill it up full with Sunoco racing fuel. Question is, when do one of these first 9 cars come onto the pit road? And what is the strategy call when they do come down pit road? As Gale was able to finally get to the outside of the 92 machine, seeing if he can complete the pass for 5th. He's been working on this for a while. Oh, things are going to get tight. And around goes the 9 machine of 33 also involved. And things are now interesting. All right, we gotta go to the blimp cam. Does the replay button work now? It does! Hell yeah! All right. So let's see how this all unfolded here. We need to first look at the 92 machine here. We need to go with him. Gets in the corner. Gets some of that paint there, the Harvick line. Just got tight, started flying off the track. You can see the moment he knew he was making contact with Gale, he knew to hit the brakes. He was just getting tight. And I feel like he got the worst end of it. Gale went for a tiny bit of a slide there. I don't think Drapeau made any sort of contact in that one. Maybe a tiny bit of right front damage on him. Cully's also involved. Muniz might have gotten a tiny piece of it. But we have a caution. And this is where I think things start to get interesting. Sorry, I do believe took 2 tires underneath that last caution and has been able to maintain it. So we'll see here what happens. Seeing potentially a 2-tire stop from Cherry. We will see 4 tires from Sawyer, Storm, Hamatat, Gale, Muniz, Cully, Treston, Russi, Rittenauer. He's going to be able to, I believe, sleepfrog everybody because he came down pit road. Actually, will be your relief lap recipient. So I do believe Drapeau did get damaged in that one. Take a look at Brandon's car here. This damage is getting fixed. 92 machines also getting damage fixed. A lot of these cars who are on pit road are just getting some damage fixed. But it's now where things get interesting. Brian, he's unfortunately a letdown. He will go ahead and get the wave around. He was not the relief lap recipient underneath that caution. Fortunately, he's in a very, very rough position because he still has to pit one more time over the next 34 laps. 35 laps here. Yeah, it is. No, Hash is back down pit road, so it. Not sure if it's go time yet or not for him. Brandon came back onto the racetrack, prepared a minute and 16 seconds worth of damage underneath that caution. Drapeau spent a minute 21 in his pit box. Could potentially have gotten another bent toe link in that situation. Resetting your running order, it's Cherry, Sawyer Ott, Storm Patterson, Brandon Pamatek, Chris Gale, Ryan Muniz, Josh Cully, Treston Ott, Brian Russi, Zach Kreiser, and I believe that's Drapeau back there as well. Klusterhuis, Wortman, Rittenauer, Hash. Those are your guys who are still on the racetrack. Landry's still on pit road. And we'll have 34 laps left to decide everything. Your race winner, your championship winner here tonight. Back racing here. Cherry got a decent launch. And you can see that most of the night, besides that one restart where Brandon was in the outside lane there, the outside lane just struggling on the restarts. Patrol car just was able to continue to pull away there. Fuel should not be a concern for most of the field unless we start seeing overtime attempts. Which I really hope not, because it's now after 10 o'clock. As things are getting pretty dicey up here. Here on this restart. Yeah, this should be the fastest the track has been. The track's now at 80 degrees. A lot of cars making contact with the outside wall there. Off turn number 2, like we see most of the night. Side by side, it's Pamitat and Muniz. That's the battle for 4th. Muniz should be able to maintain that spot. And keep that 4th position he has. Side by side a little bit further back, that will be Drapeau and Coley. Racing for 8th place. Storm Patterson has been able to move his way up to 2nd place, still keeping that 6-car gap between him and Drapeau. As we approach 31 laps to go, 169 in the book. We're well over the 200-mile mark. As again, cars continue to make contact with the wall off of turn number 2. Pamitat was looking at a line there, trying to get a little bit of clean air, getting into the corner here of turn 3. As he's currently sitting back in 6th place. Drapeau will take a look at the high side, seeing what he can do up there to see if he can get around the 15 machine of Tresnant. He'll use a run off the top, get to the inside of the 15 machine. Question is, can he have any sort of shot here on the bottom of the racetrack? Try sending it in there, got a little bit tight, had to let off the throttle. Unfortunately, he will not be able to maintain that pass here on that 15 machine, so he'll stay in 8th place for now. We'll still look on the inside of Tresnant for 7th. This is your closest battle on the racetrack. These two racing side by side. Kevin Hash looks like he could potentially be going, still running at 30.4. Not really sure what's wrong with that 03 machine, as they're still side by side for 7th here. Tro going down, getting a part of that blue line there on the apron. Again, I call that running the Harvick line. As looks like Treston got so close. Running the junior line, running the Larson line, running the Bell line, running whoever you want to call it, the Reddick line. And unfortunately, he'll lose 7th place, swimming Drapeau up into 7th. Now just needs to find 5 spots on the racetrack here, as Storm currently leads that battle here with 27 laps to go. Fortunately, I think, again, we still need another maybe 2 or 3 cautions for this 25 machine to get back into the picture here. Muniz is starting to get really close here on the 9 machine of Gale for 4th. And it looks like Gale got a little bit of the wall. There's a lot of the wall for the 33 machine at Cully. Russi had to make a quick maneuver here to see if he can get around him. Rittenauer looked like he got into the wall a tiny bit here in 10th place. Now look at the wall again off of 4. Got going into 3 and got it off of turn number 4. 25 laps to go. And it looks like the 50 machine of Brian Russi will complete the pass on the 87 Rittenauer. moving him into 10th place. Right now, we're thought about taking it there. The 12 machine gets a lot of the wall back there. And we'll lose 12th place to Klisterhoos. We'll then also lose, 13th to Hash. Potentially could lose even 14th to Wortman. Still Matt Cherry out front. 24 laps to go. As Muniz is all over the back bumper, the 9 machine of Gale. Coming to 23 laps to go. This is all behind the 35 machine of Sawyerot. 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th here on the racetrack. You also have the 97 machine of Drapeau in the battle here. As Muniz is going to see if he can get any sort of run to get to the inside of Gale. Looks like he will. They will be side by side going down the front straightaway here, coming to 22 laps to go. Still side by side. Gale will have the momentum coming off the corner. Here comes the 97 machine as he's starting to get into desperation mode here. Will go from the top lane to the bottom lane to get to the inside of his teammate at Pamitat. Will be able to complete the pass on him, moving him only 4 spots behind the 8 machine of Storm Patterson, as the 35 was closing in on the 8 machine for second. 21 laps to go. Distance to the race lead is about 0.6 of a second. Muniz will take a look here on the inside of Gale. This is a battle for 4th. Get really tight here off of 4. Gale's able to prevail. Here goes Drapeau taking a look on the outside of his teammate Muniz. This is a battle for 5th. Drapeau will have the run off the corner. And will be able to complete the pass for 5th. Now leaving only 2 cars between him and Storm Patterson, coming to 19 laps to go. Plenty of time to get this done if you're Eric Drapeau. Taking a look around the racetrack, this is the closest thing on the racetrack. These 4 or 5 cars are we'll see. Drapeau still trying to run that high line there, see if he can any sort of run, potentially get to the outside, and he will, of the 9 machine of Chris Gale, coming to 18 laps to go, and he will complete the pass for a brief second, going into turn number 1. Now just leaving 2 spots Drapeau needs to gain. Again, Drapeau was one of the best cars early on in the race. Track temperature now is sitting at 81 degrees, so it went back up a degree. Muniz is also able to get by. Gale, same thing with Pamitat, moving Gale back into 7th. Drapeau now sets his eyes on that 35 machine of Sawyer Ott for 3rd. Again, Drapeau needs to gain the next 2 spots. He needs to get in front of the 8 machine and Storm Patterson. Still Matt Cherry out front by 7/10, almost 0.8 of a second here of the 8 machine and Storm Patterson. Sawyer Ott's another 3, almost 4/10 behind him. Will now run the high side of the racetrack here to prevent Drapeau from making any sort of progress forward here. See what lines they'll run going into 3. Sawyer go to the bottom, Drapeau go to the top. Drapeau's been getting great runs off the top of the racetrack here. I think he's going to hope that Sawyer does not come up here. He will be side by side with Sawyer Ott. Going into 1, Sawyer will have the advantage, but Drapeau should have the run off. So he's going to be able to clear up, meaning Drapeau will now have to take a look on the inside of Sawyer for third. Sawyer should have an amazing run off at the top here. Coming to 14 laps to go. Drapeau with the advantage down the front straightaway. Should be able to clear up here on Sawyer if he wants. And now it's just a one position battle he needs here. Sawyer gets in the wall. Heavy right front damage on that 35 machine. And that's just a product of mirror driving. One spot's all Drapeau needs now. He just needs to get around that 8 machine of Storm Patterson. Has 13 more laps to do it. Based on the lap times, no one saving. They're all running the same times. Except for Sawyer, who just got into the wall there. And those guys a little bit further on the backpack. Klusterhoos, Hash, Freiser, Rusi, Wertman, they're all just a little bit further on back in the pack here. The distance between second and third right now is a half a second. So he needs to find a half a second on the racetrack in order to win the championship here over the next 12 laps, says Drapeau. Haven't really missed anything else on the racetrack. It's been pretty spread out besides this cluster right here. As Muniz was trying to close in on his teammate Eric Drapeau here, who's trying to close on Storm Patterson. Did pick up about 10th there, a 30.5 to a 30.4. Needs a few more of those here over the next 10 and a half laps. Does look like he has enough here going into 3. This could potentially be another. Nah, it doesn't look like he lost about anything he gained there. Very minimum time gain there for the 97 machine of that lap. 10 to go. He's getting the runs to work off the top, down in 1 and 2. 3 and 4 is a tighter turn. It's not as sweeping as 1 and 2. Another few hundredths game there. 9 laps to go. The issue is he has to defend against Muniz. Honestly, he needs to gain as much time as he can in 1 and 2. So he lost a great amount of time that time through 3 and 4. Lap time showed a 30.442 to a 30.485. It's still Matt Sherry out front by 0.8 of a second, almost 0.9 of a second. Again, another amazing 1 and 2 for Drapeau. Just needs to find something in 3 and 4. Lost a lot of what he gained in 1 and 2. 7 to go. This time we're talking about thousandths of a difference in lap times. Unfortunately, I think it's too little too late for Eric Drapeau to do anything with this championship. Just not gaining the time he needs. Seems like he makes it up corner entry but loses all corner exit. Yeah, we're back into hundredths, 400ths of a second to difference that lap. Drapeau goes to the bottom this time, gets a tiny bit of the wall, will lose any time he gained there. Coming to 5 laps to go. And that lap might have been the nail in the final coffin for Eric Drapeau. Yeah, almost a tenth and a half, 1/1600th of a second, the difference in lap times that lap, and it shows it on the scoring sheet. 4 to go. Cherry has an 0.8 of a second lead. And I mean, things are pretty spread out here. Hash is trying to catch the 25 machine here. Try to move him into third in the championship. Hasn't been third in the championship since Storm's issues earlier on. And the gap is back to almost 0.6 a second here between Drapeau and Patterson. I mean, a full tenth was gained there by Drapeau. Needs another one of those laps here, maybe even more. 2.5 laps to go to determine your Season 10 champion and your World 300 winner. 0.9 of a second is the gap between first and second. The gap between championship is 0.7 of a second. A lap and a half to go. All things are getting spicy down the back straightaway between the 9 and the 15. We need the caution to come out now, but I don't think it will. For the final time this season, the white flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go, sponsored by nobody. The gap is 1.1 seconds between first and second. Hamatat and Muniz was able to get around Drapeau. And down the back straightaway for the final time. Through 3 and 4. The win will go to Matt Cherry, but the second championship will be secured by the driver of the Budweiser number 8, Storm Patterson. All right. We'll first pull up race winner Matt Cherry into the booth. We'll get a word with him. We'll talk to race winner Matt Cherry. Hello.
Sup?
You got your second win of the season tonight.
Yeah, I should have won it all, considering I got tied for the Final Four last week, but I didn't make it in.
Yeah, you would have been in that position. You would be a season champion and a race winner, but some miracle point showed up. So there is
Yeah, I'm kind of still skeptical on that, but it is what it is, I guess.
Well, you had the right strategy call there in the last pit stop. Was it 2 tires?
It was definitely 2 tires. It was I don't know what it is, but 2 tires and being out front, nobody can get around you. I had 4 tires that last run, and Sawyer was in front of me. I could close up to him, but I could never pass him. So I won this race by luck. It was pretty much whoever was out front was winning this race.
Much like real life.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. This car is complete crap. I wish they would take it to the scrapyard and scrap it and go back to the drawing board and make something that's actually got some balls on it.
I agree. This car just sucks. I had to sit through 350 laps in Iowa this weekend. It was just god awful.
Yeah, it's miserable every time you get in this car. I mean, yeah, I'm glad I won a race. You know, this is one I can say I actually earned. I did it by luck, but you know, I drove my ass off. So
That you did. You pretty sure you set the fastest lap of the race, 29.385. If I'm reading that right. You were up there all night long. You were in the top 5 most of the night. A pretty decent night for this 45 car.
yeah, it's definitely definitely a good run for us to cap the season off. You know, I struggled very badly on getting the master cylinders and everything correct, and brake bias and stuff like that correct. And it was either I'd go into the race not have enough brake, or I'd go in the race I'd have too much brake. But I finally got me some master cylinders set up to where I just kind of meet in the middle of both, and it's been working for the most part. So I'm gonna keep doing what I've been doing and come back next season and it's 45 and try to do it again and do better.
I think that's everyone's hope when the season's done. Take what they learned and come back out next year and just put an ass up into the field.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what we did tonight. It was like a 1.2 second lead, but I was driving the piss out of it, giving it everything it had.
You gave everything it had, man. You won the race tonight, second win of the season. You probably secured 5th place in the point standings. I don't know if that's paying out this year or not, but pretty decent season for you.
It's all good. I ain't worried about the money. I ain't worried about the trophies. I just want to have fun and win some races.
You won some races. Congratulations on your race win. Before we let you go, is there anyone like to give a shout out to, a quick thank you for?
Yeah, I want to give a shout out to Sawyer, all the admins that make this happen. If it wasn't for Sawyer, I probably wouldn't be sitting here in Victory Lane tonight. He brought me and put me in the 45 this season, so I'm glad I was able to, cap off 2 wins for him in this car. Just I'm grateful for it, and I'll see you next season.
We will see you next season, man. Congratulations on the win. We'll see you next year.
Thank you.
That was race winner. We'll now pull into the booth. Your back-to-back ITRL Premier Series champion, Storm Patterson.
Dude, I cannot believe it.
You were 3 laps down at one point in this race.
I know.
What the hell happened to get you 3 laps down?
Computer crash. And it did the usual. It crashed. And then, fun fact, about 30 seconds ago, my computer crashed after we were doing burnouts.
No.
So, I can't make it up. That's the second time that's happened, because that happened when I won the truck championship, too. So, yeah, to say I'm dumbfounded is, to say the least. To say I'm lucky is the most accurate thing you can say from this. I think I ran a good race. I think the 25 was excellent tonight. You got involved with something that, I haven't gotten a chance to look. I crashed. I never got a chance to look. But he had his issues, and then Kevin was having his issues before the race, and then all the championship 4 had issues tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of just I think, honestly, I got lucky that mine happened so early that I was able to rebound and be in points by stage 2. But, yeah, I genuinely can't believe it. That's crazy, dude.
It is crazy.
you were having to were you getting a little bit worried there? I mean, Drapeau was kind of reeling you in there.
He was hauling. He got all his another thing too that I noticed was 1-2 for the championship there at the end had 5 minutes of damage and one was down 3 laps. So that's an interesting tidbit for season 10 championship. But he he was scaring me for a little bit, and then I kind of broke those last 20 laps into 5-lap increments. 20, I think that was about 20 to go is when Eric was passing Sawyer, and Eric was hauling. I don't know how early in the race was. I don't know what the difference was between him and Brandon, but I know they were both very fast. I was not in that bunch. At least I don't feel like I didn't have the pace that they did. But yeah, no, those last 20 laps, I kind of broke it down into 5-lap increments, and those first 5, I held them to about 5/10. I was like, okay, the next 5 coming 10 to go. I'm like, oh, he's still about 5/10 back. If I like, it was kind of just battling the tire cliff with him. Kind of, it was I kind of just put it. I was pacing myself. Is what I'm trying to say. Those last 20 laps, I was pacing myself, and yeah, he was worrying me there for a while. The last 5 laps, I was able to kind of settle in and be like, okay, even if he gets to me, I think I can hold him off. But yeah, he was hauling there at the end.
I would agree. Unfortunately, it just I think he might have burnt his stuff up there, and just I honestly don't think he would have gotten around you. I think he would have probably would have done this thing called mirror driving. If it got within 2 tenths.
I don't. Even though he wasn't that close to me, or he was close to me, but even though he wasn't like on me, I was still kept my eyes to the mirror that entire run. So, yeah, no, that those last 20 laps by far were probably the longest 20 laps I've ever had.
What about the 2 laps last year? What about those?
Well,
Would you say
the 2 laps last year goes? The 2 laps, I'll chop it down for you. 2 laps last year go fast because I'm having to move Chris Worrell. So, yeah. Well, no, it moves really fast because I thought I'd lost the championship, and then a door opened, and worked out for the best last year, and worked out for the best this year too. Like I said, it was just kind of a battle of adversity for the championship 4.
It was? And you battle through the best. You now get to call yourself a 2-time Iron Thunder Racing League champion, Premier Series champion.
I know. It's I figured I'd do the anti Carl Edwards, but I made the announcement to the admin channel before the race or during the race because I didn't get to during formation laps, but that's probably my last race for a while because of my PC and all that. I think it's pretty good thing to say this thing's not gonna last another year. So when I'll be back probably. But for right now, definitely stepping back for a little bit, and I'm so glad to step out on top. And I love this league. I've been in here for 7 some years, and it means a lot to me. It means the world to me, and it means a lot that I was able to come in here, and we didn't win, but when these championship 4 things are, they're very in the moment. You're not really racing for the win, you're racing the people around you. So congrats to Cherry too. He ran an excellent race.
He did. I'm gonna call BS on this being done racing.
Hey, I say it about every year, so I don't blame you, but I will say I'm formally doing it because I probably know that my computer's not gonna last, and usually we have about a 6-month break, so it's another 6 months on top of that. So I'd love to race again, but we'll see. I mean, it's all up in the air. I probably, I mean, let's be honest, I'll probably be back, but chances are if I don't get a new PC and all that, but is what it is. These things come to an end. It's been 7 years. I mean, it's been a long time. So, got nothing negative to say. It's been a great time racing here.
I agree. Well, before we let you go and enjoy yourself a nice ice cold root beer.
We're having beer tonight. We're having beer. We're going to crack open a nice cold Budweiser heavy, is what I'm telling you.
You know, Peyton Manning got fined for shouting out beer in his retirement / victory speech in the Super Bowl. I'm just letting you know,
Well,
the fine will be coming your way.
buy me all you want. I'll pay you my championship money, baby.
Cool. I'll send a Venmo request because it's gonna come out of my pocket because I have to pay for it.
Sounds good, driver.
Well, congratulations on finishing second tonight and securing that second league championship. Before we let you go celebrate with the remainder of who's in your team chat, is there anything I'd like to give a shout to? A quick thank you for?
The list is long. All of PPR. I think we might have secured a team championship too, so that's really cool. Yeah, all of PPR. Brandon and Ryan and Eric, we all worked so well tonight. It was really top notch, and all of them. You for the broadcast. Gail, first team owner, first person that really took me in whenever I was a very young lad. People like that. Sawyer, all of them. So even like I said, just give my farewell speech, I guess. But just everyone that's kind of been involved with the league in general too. Not even just directly with me. Just everyone. I mean, it's really been a fun time.
Fun times have been had. Well, I'm glad you got your first Favre retirement speech out of the way. We'll do it again next year.
We will do it. We might do it again next year, but I think this one might stick, brother.
You know, that's what Favre said. And guess what? He came back and played
you know
3
a
more
thing
years.
or two about Favre, don't you?
Huh?
I said, you know a thing or two about old Brett Favre, don't you?
I might know a thing or two, yes, yeah. I might know too much about Brett Favre, so yeah.
I think we all might know too much about Brett Favre, to be honest.
Unfortunately, you're right, yeah. Well, congratulations on winning the season 10 championship, and I don't know, I'll probably talk to you tomorrow.
Thank you, brother. I'll talk to you tomorrow too.
As that was second place finisher and your season 10 champion, Storm Patterson, we'll pull up third place finisher into the booth. He's still in Discord. We'll pull him up in here. We'll have a word with him. That's the driver number 48 machine, Brandon Pamitet.
Hello.
You finished third.
I did after a long season. It was really about teamwork tonight. I didn't really care where I finished, but it was more so making sure our 2 guys in the Champ 4, when at least one of them went all the way. And we also, going into this, we realized that we are very close to the team championship, so we were definitely in it for points, and I think we took home both.
We'd ask Dylan. We could pull him up here and ask him. Or we could just play the game and wait until he posts the graphics at midnight to find out through team championship.
I'm gonna assume that he's going to post the results soon, so I feel like we did get it. We got some stage points all around. Eric did really good in the stages. Ryan and I did really good in stage 1, and then got caught up in a BS incident.
Oh yeah, you guys 100% got the team championship. You're 18 points back going into this week.
So that's perfect. Going into this, we had a really rough season, all of us. We got collected in a bunch of random BS throughout the season. What do they say? You run with the squirrels, you're gonna get some nuts or something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Something like that. But we each had our own ups and downs in the entire season. But going into this, having Eric and Storm in the championship 4, Ryan and I knew that it was really our goal to focus on them 2. And tonight, like I said before the race, we realized that we were close. So Ryan and I discussed that we're gonna let we're gonna push the 8 and the 97 no matter what for them to win, but we're also gonna focus on ourselves getting stage points just to close the gap as much as we can. And All around, I think we did a really, really, really good job tonight. It was all teamwork, to be honest with you. We developed strategy together, let each other pass when we needed to, and we never really fought each other all night. And the results say it. 2, 3, 4, 5, all four of us. Bringing home that team championship, and Storm bringing home the drivers championship. Really proud of him. Congratulations, and for first season as a team owner with Storm, I'd say we did pretty damn good.
I think you did, yeah. You guys got a couple of wins. You got a championship, a team championship. You just got, you got everything there, man. Except for the Polo World Championship. I don't think you guys got that.
I'm not sure who got that one, but I also believe our team affiliate of Luke Carbonell, I believe he also got the rookie championship.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah,
that's 3 things that we got. And like I said before, for as bad of a season we think that we had, coming home with these 3 is huge, and I couldn't be more proud of these guys.
I don't disagree. I'd be super excited with winning 3 out of the 4 major awards that are given out every single year in the league, man.
Yeah, 100%. We really took all of our past of the season and threw it aside and focused on this and this only, and the results definitely paid for it. I couldn't be more proud of the teamwork that we had tonight. Congratulations again to Storm. Hell of a race tonight. Came back from 3 laps down. The guy really was determined. He didn't really talk much in that 3rd stage. He was, tunnel vision on winning that championship. And same thing with Eric. He caught us from multiple positions back, and once he got up to us, Ryan and I agreed, we're gonna let him pass for a fair fight to the championship. And once it got towards the end there, he must have killed his tires a little bit. And 2 laps to go, I realized that there was really no fight. So I knew that we were far enough to still finish 2, 3, 4, 5. So I figured I'd try and fight for my podium this season.
As you should. I mean, Eric gave it his shot, and shot just hit the rim and didn't go in. So yeah, I take your shot and get this interview. This is we've only done this 3 times this year, something like that.
Probably less, Alex. Probably less. I had a really rough season.
Well, you got a dual win.
I did get a dual win. So you're right. I did forget about that one. So I'd say maybe twice. Actually, no, 3 times. I would say, because Portland, we were at Portland as well.
Yeah. I feel like
so
maybe
you have a better memory than I did.
I don't. I wouldn't say that. I just start speaking and hope I'm correct sometimes.
I'm pretty sure you were correct on all of that.
I'll take your word for it. Well, it's approaching midnight in your time zone, so I'm gonna go ahead and give you the floor to say your thank yous and your shout outs. Go ahead and let you get going, man.
Yeah, of course. I want to thank PPR, Patterson Pamatite Racing. First season together, we really took a shot building this team. Storm and I both left our previous teams. And we talked to Ryan, talked to Eric, and they were on board with it. And I'm really, really proud of all of us for this season. Like I said, bad results don't make up for what the results tonight had for us. So I'm really, really proud of everyone on our team for that. Even Luke, even though he wasn't on our team, he was an affiliate. We had our ups and downs, but at the end of it, we're shaking hands and looking forward to the next time we race together. So I want to thank PPR and all my teammates. I want to congratulate Storm again on the championship. Hell of a season for him, hell of a run. Even if this is his last race, I'm sure he mentioned that. I'm glad he at least went out with a bang.
So
we'll see. We will see, but maybe he'll pull a Tom Brady. But I want to thank Eric too, just for a good season with him, and Ryan as well. Really good season. He improved so much as a driver this season. Had so many different chances to win different races and just got caught up in things that he couldn't control. So I'm really proud of him, and I think he's definitely going to be a winner within the next season. So I want to thank you, Alex, for the the broadcast. I want to thank Dylan and Sawyer for throwing on the league, and I want to thank I want to thank my father. You know, he always watches and supports PPR and stuff like that. So he was actually one of the first people to come in and congratulate us on the win. So really couldn't have done it without any of them and my teammates and everything like that.
So long list of thank yous, and they're all deserved. So, congratulations on your P3 finish tonight. Congratulations on the team title. Go down there, tell Storm to be a responsible young lad tonight, and we'll see you next year, man.
Yeah, of course. I just want to give one final shout out to Empire Vinyl Company. They came on board middle of the season, and I couldn't be happier to run Empire Vinyl Co. on the car. They're definitely going to be back next season, and probably for other series as well. And looking forward to whatever comes next.
So am I. Well, again, congratulations on your P3 finish, and we'll see you in where we're racing next.
Thank you.
All right. For the final time this year, we'll go over your finishing results. It's this button right here. Matt Cherry was your race winner, followed by your season 10 champion Storm Patterson, Brandon Pamitat, Ryan Muniz, and Eric Chapeau. Chris Gale, Tresnat, Sarat, Ray Rittenauer, and Josh Coley round out your top 10. 11th through 20th sees Brian Russey, Brandon Clusters, who had a dominant car earlier in the race. Just some moves that went on earlier just did not work out just quite right for him. Really hate to see that. Kevin Hash finishing 13th tonight. Just I will need to do some research to figure out what went wrong with his car tonight. So I feel like he, after talking with him at Talladega, he's very, very confident going into the night. So really would love to do some digging and some research on that. Zach Kreiser comes home 14th, the last car on the lead lap. Brian Werman, he led some green flag laps on speed tonight. Oh, Dylan's in here. Hello!
Hello.
Hello!
Did you have the team championship results or not?
I did my own math in my own head. Is my
What did
math
your math
right?
come out with?
Well, speaking of, it was an 18 points difference, and the highest finishing Sip and Shine car tonight was 9?
Yes, that is correct.
I would say, oh, that math could actually be wrong. Was it not PPR?
Well, the math with the playoff drivers actually scoring their points would be Pamitat Patterson by 17.
Okay.
If we exclude those bonus points, Pamitat Patterson's still by about 4 or 5 points. So
No,
they definitely did win it.
that's what I thought.
JCOM did a good job closing up. They closed up a pretty good amount, but just not enough time.
Station race winner, 7th, 8th. You guys only scored points into that, right?
Absolutely crazy. Pamitat Patterson finished in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th.
That is true.
What a finish by them. What a finish by them. So,
These guys must have did a lot of practicing for the Charlotte, you know? Practiced a lot for the Charlotte.
that is my assumption, especially with how fast Eric was out of the gate. That was like that man put in some laps.
He was faster until his tires decided, nah, we're not going to do this anymore.
And I do have to say Luke Carbonneau did win the Rookie of the Year championship by 40 points over Caleb Rise.
Hell yeah. Was he in the
And
car
I believe
tonight?
that
Or
yes, it
Okay.
was him tonight. There
right.
was an error on the naming, but yeah, it was him. Trying to think your other result, I believe your OEM is obviously going to be Chevrolet. Even though Toyota
See?
actually scored more points tonight than Chevy, but you know,
Obviously.
226 points at the end. Yeah.
what? I demand a recount on that.
And Zach Millett wins the pole award standings, although Due to them leaving during the middle of the season, I don't believe they'll be getting a payout for that. So I believe the payout will be going to Eric Drapeau, who got a third pole tonight, which broke the tie with Storm Patterson.
They just swept all the awards.
Yeah, hey, they sure did.
That they did. Are you have anything else you want to say?
Great season, wonderful racing, very long race. I'm about to fall asleep, but we're here.
We are here. Yeah, we've been here for
Yeah,
almost
we are
3
here.
hours. Yeah,
It has been a long grind of a night, but in the end, Storm Patterson, after not even making the grid, absolutely insane.
I agree.
Absolutely insane. I feel so dejected for Brandon too.
Yeah,
He had the car to beat. I don't know if you were of the opinion, but I thought he had the car to beat.
in my honest opinion, it was between him and Drapeau, and then both
Yeah,
had
that was
their issues, and out of nowhere came Storm. So from 3 laps down, and
from 3 laps.
damage to the front end of the car.
Yeah, from that contact he had early with Caleb, too. Absolutely insane. He said Eric had like 5 minutes of damage too, as well.
Yeah, he hit the wall pretty well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So definitely unpredictable tonight. I'll say that. The most predictable thing was whoever was in the lead was not going to lose the lead.
That's
Unfortunately.
terrible. That's just god awful.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know what it is with this
I have
with
a bunch
this
of
car,
words.
with this package, but it's something.
I have a bunch of words for it, but I don't have a Tom Brenneman type speech lined up for later. So I will keep them to myself.
I was gonna say, do you even have a bleep button set up? Because I think there may be some in there too.
No.
But it is certainly something. Wonderful season, wonderful broadcast.
Thank you. I put a lot of effort into this. I totally didn't stumble upon my words or
Surely not.
never. I would never do a such thing. I would never mispronounce anyone's names. I got it correct all season long. I would never miss a wreck. I never forgot to turn the pre-race logo off the screen while going through points or the starting lineup or anything. I've never done that.
Yeah, and I certainly did not have a broadcast where there was no audio for the first 40 laps of it. That didn't happen either this season. Certainly a season.
I think any sort of things like that have been scrubbed. I think the FCC said, hey, this is not worthy of being on the air. So I think they got rid of those,
I mean, we got to look back on the highs of the season, whenever we were at Chicago and somebody left a door open and we ended up with, like, what was it, 7 of us in the booth at one point?
Yeah, that was the most
we were jam-packed in there. Everybody tripping over each other with the words and
We
everything.
were running out of air.
Yeah, it got very warm up there.
It was a hot day, too, in Chicago.
It really was.
Yeah.
Could have used some rain.
Nah, Chicago. Can't have rain in Chicago, man. We need to have that be a nice dry day. Maybe a couple clouds in the sky. A fountain we can just go dive into and get arrested for,
Yeah,
Do
that would have been
set.
fun.
Yeah. Alright. I gotta wrap this stream up. Is there any other intel you
No,
have?
that is everything.
Ah.
There is no intel. There's no post-race anything. There's nothing going on now. We're just dotting all of our I's, crossing all of our T's to finish up all the graphics, get our payout sorted, and we'll look forward to another year at some point.
Yeah, who knows? And that could or could not be without Storm Patterson. If I had to put the odds on Storm,
Year.
if I had to put the odds right now on Storm racing again, it's not in the bettor's favor. You know, you'd be
Yeah.
losing money on those odds.
Yeah, I would say so. Without a doubt. I was actually talking to him already, and I said, well, you know, if you pay for a plane ticket, I'll come fix all of your technology issues. You just got to pay for the plane ticket.
Pay for the postage, just box it up and send it. It's not hard.
Well, shipping a computer is pretty expensive, unfortunately. I was going to say a round trip down there may actually be cheaper. Shockingly. I mean, not anything nice, but you know, it may be a little cheaper.
Did I say
We
your
work
last
on a
name was
budget here.
Bryce at some point this year?
You called him Caleb Rice?
You
Oh,
know,
no.
We've been doing this.
You gave him the Rasheed Rice.
We've been doing this for like 18 weeks, 20 weeks, or something like that. You know.
Well,
to
there
be
was
fair,
always the
during the duels. I was still learning and becoming the better person I am today. This is the things I was saying in my iRacing protest email earlier today, so you can believe them if you want to. I probably did say that.
you
during
know,
duels.
you did have the Nathan one at one point. The
I
Freudian
was
slip.
sick. I was so stuffed up. Like, I'm surprised I was able to finish that broadcast without passing out from lack of oxygen.
Yeah, that's understandable. But yeah, so, you know, we're going to look forward to whatever comes in the future, however it may come, whatever format, whatever car, in whatever series. So with that, I'm gonna take my bow and go back and go celebrate with the Pam and Tap Patterson guys because they're the only ones left in the garage.
Well, I think they're still waiting for post-race tech.
Um,
I haven't gotten the official buzzer from Bob yet saying they passed tech.
it has not happened yet, so I believe they were able to pull the engine out of the car at the moment.
Well, all right.
So we'll find out.
We'll keep it posted. Check Twitter in about 4 hours, then we'll know. Or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. One of those two. Who knows? Thank you for your time, Dylan.
Yes, sir. Thank you for the broadcast, Alex.
It's been an honor and a pleasure.
Same to you.
All right. Now I'm gonna wrap things up. I got some words to say. It's been an honor and a pleasure for everyone who's tuned in live, commented in the chats. You know, watch these after the fact. It's been awesome. I really enjoy it. Especially enjoyed tonight having you guys in here. You know, when they asked me to do this, it was very, very difficult. But then they sent me a piece of paper with money on it, and I was like, okay, I'll do this. But season 11, I don't know who's gonna be broadcasting it because it's not gonna be me. You'll have to stay tuned for that. I don't know if it'll be on here in the Iron Thunder Racing Network, it could be somewhere else. But I really do appreciate you guys tuning in each and every week, watching us. If it was me, if it was Dylan, if it was one of the 27 people I've had into the booth calling a race, it's been an honor and a pleasure. Those of you who are watching and are interested in joining the league, there should be some sort of information in the description. You should have access to our Discord, our website, and everything. You can always join the Discord, go through our little process of getting actually accepted into the Discord. It's just like collecting rules and whatnot. And you can always reach out to one of the admins in there. Anyone can essentially point you to the right person if you're interested in joining the league. I don't know what's next for League. I don't know if we're racing trucks, Xfinity, maybe ARCA, Gen 4. Who the hell knows what's next? We could honestly have 8 months off until next spring and season 11 happens. But until then, we'll catch you on the side. Goodbye.